The breaking news story. Former President Jacob Zuma says he will apply his mind to Justice Raymond Zondo's invitation to submit an affidavit to the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. Now, this comes after he was implicated by evidence presented by witnesses at the Commission. And it shall convey his reply to the chair as soon as he's consulted with his team. That was the response from the former president. The statement was issued by former president's lawyers a short while ago. And yesterday, the former president told students at the Walter Sisulu University that there was no such thing as state capture. Meanwhile, the commission has been adjourned until Monday, when representatives from various banks will shed light on the closure of Gupta bank accounts. The African National Congress has granted its Member of Parliament, Vincent Smith, his request to step down as chairperson of 3 committees. Now, ANC Chief Whip Jackson Mthembu presented Smith's request yesterday. Parliament's Ethics Committee will investigate Smith's conduct following allegations that he received payments of close to 700,000 rand from security company Bosasa. And for the latest here, we are going to now speak to our analyst, our reporter from Parliament, Manelisi Dubase, and he joins us now. Manelisi, it has been a busy day once again in Parliament, but of course, Vincent Smith, the big story, the ANC granting him that request to step aside as chairperson of those 3 committees. So how did all of that play out?
Well, you'll recall, Sakina, as you just said, that he received what people say was a bribe from a company called Bosasa, which Mr. Smith says it was in fact a loan for the tuition fee for his daughter who was studying in Wales. But this was an initiative of Mr. Smith to step aside from these committees. Some of them are very crucial committees. One of them is this Constitutional Review Committee, which is dealing with expropriation without compensation. And he was just recently, the same week that this story broke, he was appointed as the new chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services. So he has stepped aside from all those committees until he deals with these allegations that have been laid against him. So the Ethics Committee says that is going to deal with this issue of Smith after it had considered other matters that are before it. But, you know, it's something which some people see it as a positive sign on Mr. Smith's side, that he decided voluntarily to step aside. I mean, I think in the past 20 years, Mr. Smith is the second MP to have done so. I mean, from the travel gate to the arms deal to all other shenanigans in Parliament, a person actually who have upped the bar was Dr. Paulo Jordan, Mr. Paulo Jordan, when it appeared that he actually didn't have a PhD. He didn't just step aside as the Portfolio Committee of International Relations, but he resigned totally from Parliament. So it is being seen as the good news, but as to how is it going to be sustained by the ANC, we'll still have to see.
Now, Manelisi, Vincent Smith was not the only person implicated in that Bosasa story. What about the other people who were named? Are they also being referred to the Ethics Committee?
No, not that I know of, but I know for a fact that John Steenhuisen, the DA chief whip here in Parliament, is actually now going to lay criminal charges tomorrow at the Cape Town police stations against Mr. Smith, against the Minister of Mineral Resources, Mr. Gwede Mantashe, against the Minister of Communication, Mvula Mukonyane, the Deputy Minister Thabang Makwetla, and the former SAA chairperson, Ms. Dudumieni, who they also apparently received these high-tech security equipment from the same company, Bosasa. So, so far, I don't know whether the DA or any other party will rather prefer to refer their matter also to the Ethics Committee. But I know for a fact that at 10 o'clock, Mr. John Smith will be laying criminal charges against all of those.
And Manelisi, just finally, so Mr. Smith has now stepped down as chairperson of those 3 portfolio committees, but where does that leave him now?
Sorry, come again.
He stepped down as chairperson of those 3 portfolio committees. So what is his position now?
Well, he will continue to be an ordinary member of parliament. He will continue to participate in those committees where he was serving, but he will just not chair them. He will not sit there as a chairperson. He will sit as a parliamentary member, which means he will continue to be a member of parliament up until the ethics committee deals with his issue, and then whichever way it goes. And he said himself that if he is found not guilty, he will happily go back to his portfolio committees as the chairperson.
Manelisi Dubase, thanks so much. And that, of course, our parliamentary reporter there giving us the latest on what happened with regard to Vincent Smith. And he has stepped aside, as Manelisi indicated, from the 3 portfolio committees that he was chairing in Parliament, but he remains an ordinary member of Parliament and still serves in those 3 committees.